It's not debatable. It's an outright lie.
Well, first of all, that's the most ridiculous thing I've heard.
This is a sort of mad logic that's going on here. How can you think that?
Sorry, you're speaking over me. Joe
Yeah,
Biden
of course I am.
this war.
I learned that from your president.
He was looking at Ukraine. He's not going to let it join NATO. That's not with every world leader, and he wants it that way, and it should be so. Second, you don't know what's gone on behind.
The level of arrogance and rudeness from these British liberal journalists is off the scale. The sanctimonious way they contemptuously dismiss this former American diplomat is shameful. They were unprofessional and rude. This smug idiot was a complete embarrassment. Basically, they are liberals, and they consider anyone who's patriotic, right-wing, or a supporter of Trump, be that British or American, they see as some kind of dumb, uneducated bigot who should not be taken seriously. The meltdown over Trump is laughable. We are now told by one commentator, America is a rogue, mafia-run state we need to abandon. It's crazy talk. The fact is, these liberals see themselves as global citizens and hate the idea of national pride or priority. Hence, they want to put Ukraine and a wider European state before the nation state, and Trump represents the opposite of that. The idea of a Britain first or America first completely disgusts them. The former American ambassador to Denmark was called a liar when she said Ukrainians have been kidnapped and sent to the front line. Her accuser said what is actually happening is conscripts who have dodged combat have been arrested and taken off to the front line. The smug idiot just proved her point. Whatever way you want to look at it, men are being snatched off the streets and sent to fight against their will. The liberal establishment in Britain have had unchallenged power and been able to ignore the public for a long time. But now Trump threatens all that, and that is why they are flipping out. I'm scared of the fact these people are trying to drag us into another foreign war. It is like they see Putin as Hitler, and this is some righteous crusade against fascism. Zelensky landed here in the UK earlier, and no doubt he'll be trying to drag us into his war after Trump turned him away. For everything they are saying about Trump, he is the only one calling for an end to the bloodshed. Take a listen to this.
I mean, this is a mafia shakedown, right? You've seen The Godfather. Vito Corleone is dead, and instead of the quiet, thoughtful, ruthless one, Michael, we've got Sonny, the blowhard, kind of loudmouth guy who, Vito said should never have been a Don. This is what is going on here. I have thought, I don't know about you, Sam, but I've thought for many years that in my lifetime I would see the United States of America become a rogue state, and I think that's what's just happened.
Wow.
The American people have given, not lent like Europe, given hundreds of billions of dollars to Zelensky and Ukraine, one of the most corrupt countries in the world. They don't want to pay for another of Zelensky's yachts. They're done. They want the war to end, and most especially, they want the killing to end, the killing of the treasure of both Ukraine and Russia. They're healthy young men. Ukraine is out of young men. Now they're kidnapping people off the streets. And Vice President J.D. Vance mentioned that.
Sorry, can I just clarify that you are accusing President Zelensky of kidnapping Ukrainian men off Ukrainian streets as a form of conscription?
They're conscripting, yes. People will be on their way to work.
Right,
I've seen it happen with my own eyes,
we'll
and so
talk
has
to our
J.D.
foreign
Vance.
correspondents about that.
Nick, I've spent, I'd say, 24 months out of the last 36 in Ukraine, on the ground, reporting that country, not looking at disinformation being fed through X and other social media platforms. It is the case that I think, and I would agree that there was an element there of Zelensky trying to pull a bit of a fast one and slightly move the goalposts at the last minutes, potentially. Don't think he handled that particularly well. But it is not the case that people are being kidnapped off the streets of Ukraine. That's just a lie. It's not debatable. It's an outright lie. There are conscripts who dodged, who get arrested and taken off, just as it happened during the Vietnam War, the Second World War in this country. It is just straightforward arrest of people who have been conscripted and who failed to turn up.
Well, first of all, that's the most ridiculous thing I've heard in this whole discussion. Of course, President Trump is not in the Putin camp. He's in the peace camp. He wants peace around the world, and he wants this war specifically to end. And this was always
Carla,
Europe's.
can I ask you, just out of matter of interest, who started this war?
Well, I believe it was Joe Biden saying that if there's a
Joe
minor
Biden didn't invade. Joe
Ukraine-
Biden didn't invade Ukraine.
No,
This is
but
a
he
sort of
invited
mad
it.
logic that's
Sorry,
going on
I'll
here.
just
How can
say
you
this.
think
I'm
that?
sorry, you're speaking over me. Joe
Yeah,
Biden
of course I am.
invited this war.
I
He
learned
said
that from
the
your
podium,
president.
if it's a minor incursion, we're not going to do anything about it. He said, I'm not going to sanction Nord Stream 2, the Russian gas pipeline that my team and I, along with the Trump White House, blocked the entire time I was ambassador in Denmark. And then third, he had the disastrous Afghanistan withdrawal, and Putin saw that, and he saw weakness in the White House. And hey, he was looking at Ukraine. He's not going to let it join NATO. That's not in his interest.
What strengths have you seen from the White House regarding Putin since Donald Trump got elected? Have you seen any threat, perhaps, of a little tightening of sanctions, a little bit more military aid to the Ukrainians, anything that would indicate to Putin anything other than you can do what you like?
Two things. First of all, President Trump has a very good relationship with every world leader, and he wants it that way, and it should be so. Second, you don't know what's gone on behind the scenes. He has been very tough on Putin and Russia. You have no idea.
They're speaking about some kind of fantasy world that doesn't exist anymore. Carla Sands got everything upside down, and we're kind of used to that from the sort of madder end of the MAGA sphere.